Right. Episode 13.
Big one.
Gojira.
Wow. How do we all get here, guys?
We're all in the same room?
This is
Get
so
out
weird.
of my house!
This
Oh
is-
god!
I'm so
Time
used-
travel.
I'm so used to
Welcome
being
to 2019 when we
on
could
the
speak
internet.
to each other. Unreal. Sick huge if true.
So
4 guys, 1 album, in 1 room. Finally.
The
We
spin-off.
We've done it, boys.
It's the
Hell
spin-off.
yeah.
We've got this far. It's thanks to our Lord and Saviour Boris Johnson.
Wait.
Can't believe you said that. On the interweb, you have praised my guy.
We do not support the choices that Boris Johnson has made. Full disclaimer.
Let's not get political.
Why not? This is not a political podcast.
No, it's not. It's a musical
Transitions.
podcast.
This is a political broadcast for the Green
Speaking of
Party.
political things, what's your favourite sea animal?
What the fuck was that transition?
I was about as smooth.
Save the animals!
About as
Actually,
smooth as
Santana
sandpaper.
transition.
This
So,
links to our album. Talk
welcome.
about sea creatures.
So welcome to episode 13. We're going to be talking about Gojira this week, but as you've just said, we've got a question of the week, and it is...
What is your favourite sea animal?
Oh my god. I might just zoom in on your face at that point. Just...
Well, do you want to go first since you asked the question?
You know what? I'm a firm believer in whoever asks the question proceeds to pass the answer to the person to their right.
You had to think about that for a long second.
I completely forgot my left and rights for a second there, but it's alright, we're back.
I mean, it's got... We're talking about Gojira. It's got to be whales.
What kind of whale?
They can't fly. Oh yeah,
kind of
no, that's a
whale?
good
What kind of
question.
whale?
It's like saying dogs.
Yeah, no, it's got to be the blue whale. It's just the biggest mammal. You know,
Do be a big boy.
They are big.
very
Thick.
big boy.
Dummy. Thick.
Go on, Jack.
I'm a firm believer in the blobfish. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know even a blobfish or I don't know. There's so many. I love a good jellyfish. They're pretty cool. I don't know. There's many. Swordfish. They're pretty sick as well.
Something solidly fish
Crustaceans.
Crabs.
A sea sponge. Sea cucumbers, maybe. I don't know. I've just listed off like 5 animals. I don't know. Let's go swordfish. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're pretty good. You go on.
What do I like? You know what? I quite like the tiger shark. I think that's my favourite.
Why?
He just eats everything.
No,
You know what they've seen? You know what they
Exodia!
you know what they found in a tiger shark's stomach? A tyre.
A baby shark.
Another shark.
Did it?
Inside another
Another
shark.
Inside.
An exodia.
Yeah, I just like things that remind me of myself. So something that eats literally anything.
And has no bone,
Yeah.
only cartilage.
Only cartilage.
And preys on surfers.
It's a predator.
Surfers and sea turtles. That's all I want.
Sea turtle could be a good one. No, I think I'd go with like where you crustacean, lobster, dead ass lobster. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's the thing wrong with lobsters. They taste pretty good as well. You know what I'm
I've
saying?
never had lobster. You know?
I've never had
I've never had
lobster.
lobster.
It's
Scallops.
tasty. It's a very like crab and lobster. I think controversial opinion taste the same.
I've not
closest-
had
They
either.
absolutely don't taste
No,
the
they
same.
do.
The closest to crab I've had is crab stick. So how is that on terms of actual?
It's
crab?
kind of like that's kind of saying how like corned beef is like steak.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like it's pretty far off. I'm not gonna lie.
Fair dude.
I feel like crab is just better value for money.
I do like crab though.
Crab's
Crab,
nice. Lobster's
mussels
nice.
are pretty good as well.
Oh, mussels.
If you had
Fucking
octopus,
I've
Yes,
had squid.
I've had
I have had
octopus.
octopus. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tasty.
And then there's shit like calamari as
Yeah,
well.
calamari. Yeah.
Rate that. Rate that
We
shit.
just segued from like, what's your favourite animal in the sea? To
To
what's
what
your
would I like
favourite
to eat?
food
What's
in
your
the sea? Yeah.
oh
Give me
boy.
anything.
Anything's food if you're brave enough. You know what I'm saying?
Cannibalism. Let's go.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
boy.
I can, to be fair, Jack, because you are the Grandmaster, I can see that happening one day. You turning cannibal. Like, do you know what?
Fuck it.
Like, you know, if you,
You know
go
what?
to like
I bet humans are pretty tasty.
you know, you'd go somewhere
If you had
around the
to eat
world.
a child to save the world, would you do it?
I mean, it depends on the child, really. I wouldn't eat my sibling.
What if it's a
but,
really,
like,
really nice kid who like?
in what sense? It was nice that he was like a nice child,
What?
and he was like well behaved or nice, and he
No,
was
as in
well
he was well behaved. He looked after. You know what he thought? He saw that ice cream van coming, and he thought, you know what? Jack really wants some ice cream.
If anyone's seen
go on.
Promised Neverland, you know I love eating children. That's for you. That kid out there that I'm gonna eat. Anyway.
Oh my god. That
Album of the
dark.
week.
So let us know.
In the comments.
Let us know
Would
in
you
the comments.
Would you eat a child to save the world?
You know
And
what?
let us know in our new Discord server. Go
Yeah.
join it. Link in the description. And on that note, let's not talk about eating people.
Or children.
And let's talk about Gojira, because Gojira are incredible.
I've just thought of that meme where it's like, what's worse than a killer? A child. No. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
Gojira.
Well, go on, Josh. This is
your album.
album.
Guys, I mean, I picked this album, but we all would have picked it.
I think
it was a
Yeah.
matter of who was gonna say it first.
Yeah, we would have, because it all came out at the same time.
Because-
You would have picked it.
No, I probably would have. I'm just.
Yeah. We all love Gojira, I think.
Yeah, no, I do. Please say the album title as well.
The album is called Fortitude. It came out on April 30.
I thought it was called 40 Dudes.
That's the podcast now.
Ah, I see.
See, you've killed his momentum now.
Carry on.
He's on a roll.
So they definitely kept going in the direction that they started with 2016's Magma. Sort of went a little. I won't say a little bit softer, because Magma is still a heavy album. Don't let anyone tell you differently.
Magma bad.
Oh,
It's not.
oh,
It's
hot
not.
take, hot take.
We're gonna debate. We're gonna disagree on this, because Magma is one of my favorite Gojira albums, and I will stick by that.
That's a weird way of saying from Mars to Sirius.
Anyway, sorry, Josh. Continue.
So they continue in that direction. So do we like it? Do we like this direction?
Fortitude. I was in this direction.
Yeah.
I like it.
I dig it. I think it's
I
alright.
can't compare them to the last other albums, because this is my first experience of listening to a band.
Gojira Virgin.
Yeah, Gojira.
Popped his Jira.
This is Jira. Yeah.
Well, let's start with you then.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, to be honest, because I got my notes right.
Oh, here he is.
Yeah. But I can't show you. I can't show anyone, because I did write
Show the
down the
camera.
scores.
Show the camera.
That camera is
Show the
straight
camera.
up reading our notes.
Show the camera. Let them know. Let them know.
Secret.
Surprise them.
No, because that's like a spoiler alert. You need to find out. Wait to the end. Come on now.
After credit scene.
Okay. To be fair, yeah, I should probably make this a little bit more soul next time. Probably. But anyway, no. So, Gojira's stuff. Okay, right. Strong opening, like straight up. As soon as the what is it, Born for One Thing, straight up, it slaps you in the face with that, and that's not even the best of the slappage.
It's not
Pretty much, you know, it's like a nice little great beginning.
This album throws you around the room like a rag doll.
Yeah, it does. It does, unless it's playing the champ.
Oh,
But anyway,
We'll
right.
get to
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
That's gonna be an interesting
my
album.
thoughts were it was really good for like strong opening in terms of like a metal album. His scream as well, it's quite distinct because aren't they French?
Yeah.
yes.
Gojira.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know, it kind of makes sense. It's like, yeah, okay, that's a French screamo artist. Yep. You know, like, yeah, I can see how there's a bit more guttural to it, but the guttural sounds French. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not.
No, do you know how the French can speak with a
J'adore
bit of,
le
yeah,
screamo.
with a bit of like French can speak with a bit of flair. It's like he's screaming with like a certain like flair, but not in like in
Accents
terms of,
his ease.
but in terms of aggressive. You know, like it's a very aggressive flair. What I've not really heard from other screamo.
I guess I've not.
Artist,
I guess I've not really thought of it that way. What I will say about his voice is that it's rarely just straight up guttural screaming. There's always some sort of musicality to it.
There's always a melody.
And it's always very clear what he's saying,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah, the
always
diction
like.
in the scream.
There's some people who do that start and you can't understand a word. So when someone like Joe from Gojira does, it's really refreshing.
I love his voice.
It is really. Even his clean is alright, apart from Well, we're gonna get to that. But I do really like his voice.
Well, I'll continue like all my points and then like so we can get the all aired out. So it starts off heavy and then it keeps the heavy going when you get Amazonia. Amazonia is a tune. Yeah, the riffage in that, and then the screams complement. It's just heavy.
Can we talk about the didgeridoo?
Yeah, there's a didgeridoo in it as well. Doing,
Yeah.
doing, 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 doing. It's just all right.
It's fucking mint.
Why
does it work
it
so
works
well?
so well.
I don't know.
And then the single from that album, Another World, I think is
Another
next,
World.
which I love. I just love how simple it is. Just
I love
starts
that riff.
off
I
with
like
the
that.
riff,
I
and
like
then-
that song a lot. Yeah.
I think there's a few songs in this album, especially Another World when it came out like last year, and Amazonia, definitely grew on me. At first listen, I wasn't entirely sure what to think. I knew that they were going to go in a sort of in this more melodic musical direction, but I wasn't 100% certain. But a few more listens and I'm absolutely sold, especially Amazonia, which is one of the best tracks on the album
I
now.
completely agree.
It's got such a strong.
I don't
chorus
know.
As well.
I don't know what it was. I found Another World a lot more enjoyable when the artwork for it changed.
I weirdly know what you mean.
Yeah, I can't explain it.
Yeah,
When-
I do know what you mean.
You mean on like Spotify or something?
Yeah,
it's just the visuals that go.
So when it
associate
came out as a single, it had its own single artwork or whatever, and I was sort of like, oh, it's a bit like, yeah, it's all right. It wasn't like anything stand
Yeah.
out.
It reminds me of the
There's
video
the-
for it as well.
There's the whole video is like Planet of the Apes, where they go to another planet, they realise it was Earth the whole time, except it's the Eiffel Tower instead of the Statue of Liberty.
But then it's like, as soon as it changed to the album art, it just brought on this whole new like meaning in a way. Even though it sounds really dumb to sort of say out loud, but I feel like it makes
No,
sense.
it's like imagery within an album is quite important, and I think there was one album we talked about a while ago, the Health album, which had really strong like with all the videos for the music.
Or like the canvases on Spotify
Yeah.
and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Code Oranges was good for that as well.
Code
Their
Oranges
canvases
was
were
good.
kind of like robots.
I think especially in today's day and age where like people are listening to music through Spotify, where you've got the canvases or just on YouTube, just coming
works.
across videos and stuff, it's quite important to present it visually as well.
Because I did even get the sense, because even though this is my first Gojira album, I did get a sense that there was like a theme with it, a bit more than maybe some of the others. You know, like I just could feel it a little bit. It's like they were trying to push maybe a certain theme.
I think that, the theme that it seems to be present with like most Gojira albums is just like environmentalism.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's why I love them so much.
Fair dues.
boys.
Fair
It is
dues.
good.
The Green Boys.
Honestly, I've started buying oat milk at home
Just because
after
of,
after I got this album.
maybe they made me turn veggie. Maybe that was it. I heard his
maybe.
gut. I heard his
Maybe.
gut, and I was like,
I've been buying bamboo toothbrushes.
I've got a bamboo toothbrush.
Fucking well nice, aren't they?
No, I actually rate them. Although they kind of stale up a bit.
They do. They
If
stale.
you don't dry them,
They
it's a bit
stale
grim.
up really, really fast, but they're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Buy bamboo.
Do you know what's not pretty good?
The chant.
Let's talk about it. Let's
So-
talk about it.
The midway point is what I had a problem with this album.
Okay.
The start, great. Middle, end, yeah.
Fantastic.
So,
was-
end phenomenal.
That was my kind of position on
You
it.
say middle. It's kind of just like one song or like two songs.
A little
Two-
bit,
two-
yeah, because isn't it? It goes
one
Fortitude.
song,
Yeah,
really.
you have
Chant.
Fortitude.
It's like
And
an intro
honestly,
track.
I don't know if it's just me. Like when the chant came out as a single, I was very confused as like I'm not a huge fan of this.
It was terrible.
It didn't really. I wouldn't say it was terrible.
Sorry, you
But-
can say it. We're in a safe space.
But when the album came out and you had Fortitude before it, it did in a way sort of elevate it. But at the same time, I will say that Fortitude is too long. The
As an
song
intro.
the song as an intro, just with that one melody, didn't need to be quite as long. It is a catchy melody, and by
I
the
like the
time the
percussion.
chant comes in, it gets stuck in your head.
Yeah.
I'd argue that the chant is too long.
It is. That was
In the
another
sense
point
of like
I
how
did
long
right.
is it? It's 4 minutes, so it's 4 minutes too long.
It's 4 minutes too long.
That's what I.
Shouldn't be there.
That was a con I did right for this album, which was that I felt like some of the tracks were too long. Could have been shortened down a bit.
I don't
No,
like,
because if you notice, there's a lot. I can't remember how many songs, but a lot of them fade
10.
out. take ages to fade out.
Like the grind fades out. As good as a song that is, the fade out is kind of a bit like.
I'm sure it's like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
I think grind, like the start of grind and the riffs
end
are just absolutely insane. The end is a little. It's not bad, but it's a little more.
It's probably to give your ears a rest from the start.
I kind of like that though. A lot of Gojira songs kind of like, they kind of have this progressive element where they kind of embrace like the kind of psychedelic side of prog, where they'll kind of play the same. Like Master Sirius, which me and Noah think is the best album. It's very proggy and very like atmospheric, and those are, I think, the parts that Gojira do best. Like the intro to Flying Whales is like the same riff for
Ocean
2.5 minutes.
Ocean Planet,
But
the
it's
first
perfect.
song.
It's the same riff for about 5 minutes.
But it's beautiful.
But it works. It's so Petrucci, whatever it is.
I love it.
Dream Theater.
That's what I mean. Dream Theater.
Was that your pros and cons?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a quick another look.
Here's one we did earlier.
Yeah, well, yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, that was pretty much it, to be fair.
So what's everyone's favourite track off of it?
Who wants to go first with this one?
Oh, I don't know.
I have a few because like grind at the end is phenomenal.
I think
Amazonia, just
so
the bounciness of that riff just is really, it's really infectious. See, you've all started doing it just from me saying it.
The chorus riff as well. Massive. There's fire in the sky. It's so good. I don't think mine would probably be the grind, to be honest.
I think Newfound was another
Oh,
favourite.
we haven't talked about Newfound.
Because they got, I'm really glad they brought back the whammy pedal from Stranded and Only Pain. I'm glad that wasn't just like a gimmicky thing that they did once and just got rid of. They've made it. They've made it Gojira.
The breakdown in Newfound as well, when it goes there. Dun, 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 dun,
Well, in terms of favourite tracks, and mine actually, I'm gonna go with Another World. Every time that comes in,
like Another World.
It's just any time it comes in, that nice little arpeggiated riff, and then how they change it throughout. You know how it goes clean, and then
I like how it's like staccato. It's like
yes, they go staccato near the end, near the middle point, and then it fades out like clean, doesn't it? As well, it's just.
I love his tone.
Yeah, that would be Another World.
I know we're just fucking like brainstorming with Gojira now of all the things we like, but there's so many good aspects of that band. They're so like
that album.
Unique.
So many good aspects of that album, apart from the
middle.
But yeah, I don't know what I pick as my favourite song. Into the Storm.
Oh my days! I forgot about Into the Storm.
Possibly, yeah.
The train coming, ding, 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 ding.
I love that. It's the most used polyrhythm. Past
that 54.
I thought it was.
Oh no, it's.
I thought that was the most like.
I probably is that, to be fair. I don't know.
That's what I'm a bit conflicted, and we'll get to scores obviously. And I was a bit conflicted of what to give it because the highs of this album
are really good.
Are incredible. There's just one or two songs that I feel like aren't quite on that level. That means I don't know whether it gets.
For me, that chant point in the middle, it tainted the rest of the songs around it a little bit for me. Plus, in the sense of, because you know how we get the awesome riffage at the start. You get pretty much 3 great songs back to back.
You do 4.
Is it? Oh, it's
yeah. Because Newfound's there as well.
Oh, is it right, yeah. All right, so yeah. We'll
before Fortitude, yeah.
So already there, you've got like 4 dynamically like slapping songs, and then you get an absolute, that downtime what we always talk about.
It's not
even good downtime.
It's not good. I was literally going to say it's not good downtime.
Yeah, I'll say there's the other track, The Trails, between Into the Storm and Grind.
That is quite a weak song to be fair.
I don't mind it.
It's not bad, but yeah, it doesn't particularly stand out.
Yeah.
Not like Sphinx.
Sphinx is good. Was it Hold On as well?
Hold On's a banger.
The only problem I had is like by the end that I was like, ugh, and then the grind saved it, if you get what I mean.
I feel like the grind could have resurrected
with that kind
literally
of
anybody.
Yeah,
that section where it just builds up and then you just go, oh.
Yeah, the 2 minute bit where it builds up again. And
hot take. I think that's my favourite metal song of the year so far.
Really?
Quite easy. I think. Well, I will get onto scores, but this is my favourite. In terms of albums that have come out this year, I think this is my favourite album that I've heard this year.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a front runner for album of the year. And on that note, should we score it?
Okay.
Unless anyone has any other cons or pros to say.
I mean, I've pretty much said.
Anything that hasn't been said,
I've pretty
I
much
don't have
said
anything.
chant bad, everything else.
Chant
amazing.
bad, everything else fantastic.
I
trail's a
think
bit
chant's not. It's not bad. I just felt like
it's really it's aesthetically really different,
it
and I don't know if that's a
shouldn't have
good
been
thing.
on that.
It was
album,
like the two notes in Sun and Stars. Go listen on Spotify
Wee.
for 5
Hey.
minutes. For like 5 minutes. Do you
Just
know,
the
like,
chorus.
Yeah, just, just the chorus.
Because even when you think about the song, the actual verse is quite weak as well.
It kind of
It's just
reminds
dun,
me.
Dun dun dun.
It kind of reminds me of Mastodon in a way.
Yeah, but
yeah.
kind of a forgettable Mastodon song. If Mastodon released that, I'd still be like, I'm not really into this.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Anyway,
with
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Scott,
let's
Should we go?
let's
round,
go. Yeah.
that way round.
So
which
we'll
way?
start with you, Jack.
I have no notes, so I'm doing this. I'm doing this totally by on the fly. You know what?
Don't look at mine.
You know what? I gave Caligula's Horse a 9, and that was one of my favourite albums of last year, and I genuinely think this is on the same standard as that, so I'm going to give
Really?
this a 9 as well.
No way.
Yeah,
I-
one of my highest scores. Let's go.
I am also going to give this a 9. I know I said there's a
Big
few
dubs.
there's a few songs that aren't perfect, but the highs of this album, some of this some really standout tracks just for the genre that I've heard not just this year but the last few years. Anytime Gojira put out an album, there's going to be songs of that standard that are just going to be instant classics.
That's such a unique band, man. I love them so much. We're getting emotional.
I've also
Joe.
given this a 9. I've also given
Fucking hell, this could be a high one, boys. This could be a high one.
Again, like, I remember writing this down in my notes. All I wrote was 9 out of 10 and then put boing, 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 boing. But, no, I think, like, in terms of, like, a metal album, possibly one of the best metal albums brought out this year, I'd argue. So far, at least. You know, there's a potential of a Spirit Box album coming out. I don't know if it will, but
We are only in May.
if that comes out...
I think there's
or-
word of a Dream Theater album coming out later this year as well.
I'm holding on to, but so far that might be like metal album of the year for me. That might be, but I'm still giving it a 9 purely because the chant.
This is difficult now because
It
I
could have
was
been-
I was torn between 7 and 8. You see,
Oh,
what's it gone for?
I was torn between 7 and 8 because like I
Will
just
it overtake Bill Murray?
will it do will it? 'Cause
If this is
because-
below Bill Murray, I swear to God, man.
because for me it's because it is really good. I'm just like just because when you talk about like when you say it in the word context of for the metal genre, I'm like yeah, alright. But then when I think about albums in general, I'm like, you know, like that's what brings it down to the 7.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but then when you say, but if you just think just metal, it's like, would you go see him at Download Kieran? 8. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Mate, they are incredible live. Just as
I know.
a
They
side note,
are.
they're
And plus,
so
I'm
good.
also
insane.
thinking the fact that I haven't listened to him before, and you guys have, you know, the albums before, so you can see
True.
like
That is
kind
a-
of the,
yeah.
the progress thing. But I did enjoy it, so I'll give it an 8. I'll give
Okay,
it an 8.
well, hold on.
9.
35 joint second.
35.
With 3 other albums joint second.
We're definitely gonna have to do like some kind of.
We're gonna have to do. Yeah.
We're gonna have to go into point decimals.
It's joint
after
second
so many of
with
these.
Caligula's Horse, Rise Radiant, and Pink Floyd's Animals.
Do you know what?
No, I think that's pretty.
I think that's a
pretty
good.
suited.
Is a good score.
If I gave it 7, what would it have been?
It'd be
34.
there's nothing else on 34, I don't think.
You can't change it now. You can't change it now.
no,
First answers only.
First answers all.
No, going back.
Yeah, there's
going
nothing
back.
else on 34.
Yeah. I'll do,
It
yeah,
beat
I'm
Bill
gonna have to
Murray.
stick
Bill
with
Murray's
it.
been overtaken by someone. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Plot twist.
It's happening.
Ah!
It's again. It's like you said. There's so many qualities to that album. Where it's just like, you know, boing 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 boing. Amazonian.
Literally, yeah.
Like it's just too good.
I say that as like a meme, but that is just a really good song.
Like it's
everything
still
about that.
like all the riffs.
It is a meme because of how good and catchy it is.
Yeah, everything in that song, apart from even the chant is. It's just because of how shit it is.
Yeah, true.
Stuck in my head because I'm traumatized.
Just before we end, fun fact for anyone who lives in Manchester, Gojira's one of their first shows in the UK was at Satan's Hollow.
It was, wasn't
Oh,
it?
Satan's though.
Because when we saw them, they were like, hello, we played our first show at some shithole called Satan's Hollow, and everyone was like, "Whee!" And then after their show, they went, yeah, we'll see you in Satan's, and everyone was like, yes, get
That's
in.
amazing.
But yeah,
Can you imagine if they do a gig in Manchester, do the same thing, and we're insane and Gojira's?
well, they didn't have to show party, but you two were Like, oh, I want to go home.
I wanted to go. I'm pretty sure.
I didn't go.
I couldn't.
And on that note,
His life was on the line.
don't be a Josh. Go to the after show party.
Yes.
And
Thanks
on
for
that
watching.
note,
Subscribe.
thank you for watching.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Join the
I
Discord.
was just gonna say that.
And
That's my line.
You stole my line.
Like the socials. Listen to the songs. Watch the other episodes. I don't know. Do you?
Just do whatever you
We
want.
knew.
Have a
Do whatever you want.
Netflix and chill sesh
Yeah.
with our podcast on.
With us.
You will not regret it.
We love
Exactly.
you.
You can get off. You can get off
You
to
went
the
one
sweet
over.
sounds of our voice.
Beautiful.
Alright, goodbye.
thank you, bye.
Chef's kiss.
Bye bye. Have a great time.
No, what are you doing? Are you making a coffee again?
I'm not having this on the table.
Scraping the fucking Amstel logo.
Why? We're not gonna get sued.
Just in case we do.
I don't.
Well, I'll rip my.